behind your back.
Okay. Okay.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, ma'am.
Welcome back to Docket Dodgers. This is Wade Hall, and I'm with
Matt Hager. Good to be back, guys.
Today we have a video out of Kentucky we're going to watch with the Kentucky State Trooper of the Year of 2021. This video is, I would say, disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised.
All right, Mr. Blue, step back for me real quick.
I ain't got to get out of the vehicle.
Yes, you do, because I got probable cause to search the vehicle now.
Why?
Because he said there's a roach in the car. So you're going to step out of the car, I'm going to have to forcibly remove you from the car. And if you don't comply, you will be placed under arrest for disorderly conduct and obstructing governmental operations. So step out of the vehicle now. Don't reach around inside the vehicle, step out of the vehicle. Now, you want to go to jail, keep it up.
I'm not scared of jail.
Here. Well, okay, well, I can oblige you on that. Hey, don't reach for anything. Do you understand that?
I don't.
Drop what you got in your hands.
No, I'm videotaping.
You're under arrest.
For what?
Get on the ground. You're under arrest.
For what?
Turn around. Get on the ground. You're going to get it again. Get on the ground.
I'm on the ground.
Lay on your belly.
I'm on the ground.
Lay on your belly.
Leave
Lay on your
alone.
belly. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Oh,
Behind your back.
okay.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Put your hands behind your. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay. Okay.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay, ma'am. Oh. Okay.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
What's
Put them
your
behind your back.
problem, man?
Put your hand behind. Hand behind your
They
back.
are.
Dude, you're gonna get lit up again.
They are behind my back.
All the way behind your back.
Okay.
All the way. Don't move. Move.
I'm not moving.
Don't you move, bub.
I'm not. Do nothing.
You're under arrest. I've already told you that once.
I didn't do nothing.
511 E-Town. 511.
Oh my God, that hurts so bad.
That's Jeff.
Oh.
Are you 65?
65 now. I got one detained and one on the back.
I didn't do nothing.
905, start for 6119 Raineyville Road to 511's location. 10-4 and round.
I didn't do nothing, man. Just leave me alone.
Arrest.
For what?
Disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, obstructing governmental operations.
I didn't do nothing, man. I had my phone in my hand.
And I told you to drop it, and you told me no.
So?
So?
My back is...
Well, you know what? Turn over on your butt. Turn over on your butt
You
now.
have to wait. I got a broke back, mother.
You got a broke back, Dawson.
Yes, I do. I broke it years ago.
Sit up.
Oh. I broke it in the car wreck. Oh,
You had the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used
I
against
tried
you.
to be silent.
Hey, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney.
So I found it hard to even stop this video and talk through it because it just speaks for itself. It's just so disturbing for me to watch.
It's one of the most egregious body cam footage that I've ever seen. And I mean, we've watched tons of body cam footage, and this is just shocking.
The orders that he gives, from order to physical violence, is almost instantaneous. He asks him he asks the man to get out of the vehicle. The man begins to unbuckle his seatbelt and gather his belongings, and it just goes so quick from there.
I don't think that he was actually resisting. I don't think asking an officer, what have I done? I've not done anything. Let me record. I don't think that is resisting at all. I mean, it's not to the point that you would be able to use some sort of force on someone. It's appalling, you know?
It's definitely appalling, and this officer knows this man. He calls him by his name. So I think there's some history to that. The reason for the traffic stop allegedly was a seatbelt violation. This seatbelt violation turns into, oh, there was a roach in the car. Oh, I should just tase this man 5, 6, 7 times.
Not only that, and the driver's already been detained, and we'll get into the federal civil complaint a little bit later, but in it says that the driver actually tells the trooper that there may be a roach in the car. I smoked several months ago. I don't do that no more. I've been on probation and I've been doing good. And that somehow prompts that officer, hey, now I have probable cause to search the vehicle. And when he comes up to the passenger side window and talks to Dawson Blevins, is that his name?
Yeah, Mr. Blevins.
Talks to Dawson Blevins. At that time, Mr. Blevins is not suspected of a crime. Even though the officer has a right to have the passenger step out of the vehicle, because we all know the Supreme Court case of Pennsylvania v. Mims, they do have a right to ask you to step out of the vehicle. But at this point, what has Dawson done? What has Mr. Blevins done? He steps out of the vehicle, and just because Mr. Blevins says that I'm not scared to go to jail, he's like, then I can oblige you with that. Then put your hands behind your back and begins to arrest him. But at what point, what crime did you see that he had committed, Wade?
I saw no crime up to that point. The officer says that he's obstructing and he's being disorderly. And when it comes to obstructing in Kentucky, it's statute 519.020. Says a person is guilty of obstructing government operations when he intentionally obstructs, impairs, hinders, or performance of a government function by using or threatening to use violence, force, or physical interference. And the act of sitting in a car, unbuckling your seatbelt, and gathering your belongings when you're asked to get out of said car is not physically interfering with the search of that car.
Yeah, because it's my understanding you have to use some sort of force. You got to be some sort of force or some sort of physical hindrance. And I mean, Mr. Blevins is not doing that. I mean, he's complying. He's doesn't like what he has to get out of the vehicle. He doesn't like what the officer is saying to him, but he is complying. And just because he's had a past history with this guy, I guess it's the reason. We don't really know. It's the reason why he's treating him this way.
Well, the officer, like we see in a lot of these cases, doesn't like what he's saying. It's not his actions. It's how he is not submitting to the authority quick enough. And a part of his ability to submit to the officer's request quick enough, the officer is asking him to do something physical. He's said in the video he's a broken back from a car accident. And there's many people with disabilities that can't move as quick as everyone else or move their arms in a way that's satisfactory to this officer because he goes straight to handcuffing him.
And I think Mr. Blevins is well within his rights to question why he has to step out of the vehicle. I think he's well within his rights to say, I haven't done anything. Why are you treating me like this? I mean, you have a First Amendment right. I mean, we talked about it before, Houston v. Hill. They have to have thicker skin than what you have. That you have a right to say things to them and them not retaliate against you because of your speech.
And when it comes to retaliating here, this is a level far above what you normally see. Instead of just putting him in handcuffs, he shoves him to the ground. And then how many times do you think he was tased there?
I say at least 4 or 5. I mean, I didn't count, but it was too many.
Too many.
One too many.
And he's pleading the whole time. the whole time he's on the ground, he's saying, I can't do these commands that you're giving me. Like the human body can't react when it's being electrocuted. That's the point of a taser, is to incapacitate. And if you fall on top of your hands and you already have a disability, how are you going to be able to put your hands behind your back?
Exactly. And, we look at those gram factors we talked about before on this channel, the severity of the crime, whether the suspect is posing any threat or harm to the officer or is someone else's safety. I just don't see it. I think I think the first tase is not warranted, but after the first tase, he's subdued. He's easily could be reduced to handcuffs, and the officer keeps tasing him. And then to add insult to injury, he pepper sprays him in the face.
Yeah, he doesn't just deploy pepper spray. He gets as close to his face as possible and shoots it right into his eyes, which could cause serious damage or permanent damage.
Yeah. And Mr. Blevins was taken to jail, and there was actually a criminal citation filed, and we have that here on the Docket Dodgers, and we'll read that now to you. He was charged with obstructing governmental operations, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct second degree, and drug paraphernalia by or possessed. And the criminal citation states that while sitting stationary at the Rineyville Grill off of Kentucky 1600 in Hardin, Kentucky, I observed a silver passenger car with 2 occupants traveling eastbound. I observed the driver not wearing a seatbelt, so I initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle, and we came to a stop in the parking lot of the Rineyville Baptist Church. That makes it even worse, Wade.
This happened in a church parking lot.
Man.
Not a lot of grace was given there that day.
I made contact with the operator, who was identified as Arturo Cordova. He was identified by the Kentucky operator's license he provided. While talking with Cordova, the passenger was smoking a cigarette. He was sweating and would not look at me. I could see his chest rising and falling quickly due to his rapid breathing. So now this officer is trying to say that he was nervous, and that gave him probable cause to kind of think he's hiding something. I think that's where he's going at with his narrative.
I was even thinking maybe he was agitated in a fighting state or something like that.
Yeah.
The officer's using very careful adjectives to describe why he is so frightened and so scared of this man.
I asked the passenger several questions, and his answers to everything was, I'm not sure. Blevins was being uncooperative, and I could feel him getting agitated as we spoke to each other.
So, Matt, before you go any further, do you have to cooperate with the police?
No, you do not have to build your case for the police. I mean, you do not have to answer their questions. I mean, you'll see a lot of times on body cam footage on other channels, you'll see the people say, I don't answer questions, and that's perfectly within your rights. You do not have to build the case for the officer. I then went to my cruiser and performed a criminal history checks on both Cordova and Blevins. I confirmed my association with Blevins. Blevins had just been convicted of resisting arrest in 2024 and has numerous felony drug convictions. Just because he has numerous drug convictions, does that give this officer a right to tase him like that?
Absolutely not. It has your prior criminal history has no effect on any charges you may get for your actions. If I'm walking down the street, it doesn't give an officer the right to stop me because he knows that I was arrested for this or arrested for that.
I asked Cordova if there was anything illegal inside of the vehicle, and he stated, not that I know of. He then stated that there was probably a roach inside of the vehicle. I then went back to the vehicle and told Blevins to exit the vehicle, which he responded,
That's a good answer.
He told him that he did not have to get out. I then told him once more to step out or else I would have to remove him, and he began reaching around inside of the vehicle. I ordered him to stop and grab a hold of him. Man, this officer needs to learn to write.
So right there, you can see the narrative the officer's trying to paint. He said he was reaching around in the vehicle. Well, when a magistrate or someone looks at that, or just the public reading that complaint, he was reaching under the seat for a gun, or there was a knife in the glove box that he was going for. But you can see from the body cam, and the officer whose head is above the body cam had the perfect view of where his hands were at in the vehicle the entire time. He saw that he was grabbing his cigarettes and he was grabbing his phone because he wanted to record what was happening.
And his hands were full, so I don't know what else he could have grabbed at that point. He was trying to rearrange himself where he can get out while he's holding all these things in his hand.
Well, if that car has become a crime scene, right? The driver, the owner of the car said there's a roach in here, and the cop is going to go search the car. The property that belongs to the passenger's property. He's well within his rights to take his property from the vehicle.
Right. And like we said before, and the traffic stop was for the driver who was not wearing a seatbelt. At this point, the passenger has not committed a crime. Mr. Blevins has not committed a crime.
No, not at all.
I told him to drop what was in his hands, and he ignored me and still continued to be argumentative and pulled against me. At that point, I shoved Blevins to the left to create distance, and he fell to the ground. I advised him that he was under arrest to get down on his stomach, but he ignored me and stood up. I then deployed the first cartridge of my taser, and after it made contact, Blevins was still combative and started the probes out of his body. This officer cannot write.
Well, it's tough to write when you're probably trying to make it up as you...
I then deployed the second cartridge, and Blevins fell to the ground, but still ignored my commands to place his hands behind his back, and he kept trying to tuck his hands under his chest. I wonder why he couldn't get his hands behind his back, Wade.
Well, when you fall, you try to protect your face by putting your hands out. And if you land on your hands and you're being electrocuted, you probably won't be able to use your muscles.
Blevins was still defiant, so I administered a burst of my state-issued OC spray to the left side of Blevins' face. I think he got the whole thing.
Well, it was state-issued. I wonder if the state has any protocols of how to deploy such pepper spray. So he faced those 4 charges, but they were eventually dismissed by the Commonwealth attorney there. All the charges from that incident were dropped, and after that point, that's when this federal lawsuit began against the officer, which exposed a long history of incidents that do not look very favorably to the Kentucky State Police.
I think there was 4 instances on there, Wade.
Yeah. So there was like a whole list. The first 3 take place in 2020 in the spring. First is March 5th, 2020. This was involving a Mr. Holcomb. It was a vehicle chase, and once the defendant got out of his truck with his hands up, the allegations is the Trooper Wright, that's Kentucky, right? Troopers. Yeah. So Trooper Wright threw him to the ground, shoved his head into the pavement, and beat him while the other officers piled on in like a sort of a dog pile. Next was Wright pulled over Mr. Davis from his vehicle. He wasn't resisting, but Wright slammed him to the ground and hit him repeatedly. There was no discipline action in that incident. And then in April 2020, during an arrest at a home during a warrant execution, which is a situation that could go poorly in any sense, after the person complied and placed his hands on the wall, Wright then threw him to the ground and hit him in the neck and knelt on him. So after he had his hands up on the wall, the officer still determined force was necessary. And that one... a federal judge actually said the statements given by the police in the trial were contradictory, that they were basically false statements under oath claiming no force was used, even though the video showed force was definitely used. And in this case, it showed that the troopers even deleted some video in these allegations. But this came in 2020. And Matt, what happened in 2021?
Didn't Trooper Wright win Trooper of the Year?
That's right. If you get 3 assaults on some defendants, you are awarded Kentucky State Trooper of the Year.
And I think each one of these allegations in the complaint, it shows that it's just a failure of the Kentucky State Troopers. Their supervision and their supervisors. I don't know who is over the Kentucky State Troopers. I'm sure they got some sort of sergeant or a captain that's over them. But I mean, it's just a failure. I mean, they're complacent in this. If there's, I think in each one of these cases there wasn't any any reprimand for Trooper Wright. Is that correct?
No, we have supervisors were aware but took no action, no disciplinary action, and the other one doesn't say any other actions, but the judge said something was wrong, but no discipline on record.
So Mr. Blevins has his own federal lawsuit. His attorneys are out of Louisville, and he is represented by Gary R. Adams and David N. Ward. Their civil lawsuit, they allege many Sixth Circuit cases that have bearing in this case, and one of them that really comes to my mind is Phelps v. Coy that was cited in the case, and it says was simply no governmental interest in continuing to beat a plaintiff after he has been neutralized, nor could a reasonable officer have thought that there was. And that case really applies to this because, like we said, I don't think the first tase was warranted, but after the first tase, I mean, he was very able to be apprehended.
Well, if you look after the first tase, and I don't think the first one hit him. I think it hit some clothing or something, and it didn't phase him very much. He was just standing there.
No, yeah.
He was standing next to the rear wheel of the car, and he wasn't moving. He wasn't running. He wasn't in a fighting stance. He was standing still asking, "What are you doing?"
Right. The second case that comes to mind that I really like that the attorneys cited in the federal lawsuit is Eldridge v. City of Warren. It addresses passive resistance. As we see, he was resisting, but I mean, not really, Wade. I mean, I felt like he was being compliant somewhat.
Well, he was questioning.
Yeah, and you have a right to question.
A lawful order, you have to understand a lawful order to follow a lawful order. Right. Just barking out commands saying stop obstructing. How am I obstruct? I was sitting in this car before you got here. I'm sitting here now. What did I
do?
Yeah, like explain the situation.
Yeah. But Eldridge v. City of Warren says addresses passive resistance, reinforcing that failure to immediately follow commands does not authorize physical force like tasing. Again, Wade, when we talk about that force continuing, what is the suspect doing? At that time, was he a threat to anyone? I don't really understand this. To me, it seems like the officer was scared. I don't know.
Well, apparently he's scared a lot. Because he has a lot of these incidents. After just last year of March, he had a traffic stop in West Point, Kentucky. Says the driver complied with commands, but was tased multiple times, then thrown down after being handcuffed. So you have to be really frightened to throw a man whose hands are chained together to the ground. He must just be scary.
Oh, yeah.
But Dashcam captured that escalation, and the KSP reviewed it. What do you think happened there, Matt?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They probably bought him a cake or something for doing a good job.
I heard he got runner-up for Off Trooper of the Year that year.
Oh, yeah, he should have kicked him a few more times.
Another case that they cited in this federal lawsuit that I really do like, Wade, is Champion v. Outlet National Inc., and it cited for the rule that the use of force on a suspect who is already restrained or incapacitated violates clearly established law.
Well, I would say he was incapacitated.
He was incapacitated by the tasing. I mean, your body can't take that much electrocution. I mean, he was laying there in physical pain, and to add, I mean, as I said before, to add insult to injury, he comes over and pepper sprays the guy in the face.
Matt, I don't know if you ever played any of the old knockout games, UFC, but when you're laying face down on the ground, you're incapacitated.
Oh, yeah.
Furthermore, we have, I like this case of Shrevey, Jemison County Fiscal Court. That seems 6 court.
Wade, you had to be from Kentucky, man.
I can't. You do that one.
That's Jasmine County.
Jasmine County. Okay. I know the English language didn't make it that far west, so maybe I'll let you handle that one.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. It affirms that gratuitous violence against restrained suspects is unconstitutional, and that verbal noncompliance or passive resistance does not justify tasing or physical force. I mean, that's
the whole case.
That's exactly what we've seen.
It was just verbal noncompliance the whole time.
I know.
And I wouldn't even say it rose to noncompliance. It was verbal questioning.
It's like I'm complying, but I'm just questioning. I mean,
well, he said it perfectly with his first answer of just.
We got this the video body cam footage that we showed you guys from police activity, and we was reading some of the comments earlier, and it said that Mr. Blevins rode more lightning than Metallica.
He did. He needs to get some T-shirts made.
I went to Hardin County and rode the bull.
So is that Louisville?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure that's near Louisville. I know Oldham County is the county where Louisville is at. Woodford County is right there really close, but I'm not too sure where Hardin County is. It may be close to Louisville. I would suspect it's close to Louisville.
Because I've noticed normally when you have some of these wild troopers, they try to put them in the corners of the state, away from the population centers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I know Mr. Blevins did not. It looked like he did not have a lot of fun there.
I did not. And guys, I want to remind you guys, we're doing really well. We're so excited about the first month of being on YouTube. I feel like the response has been really good. But if you could, for us, do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit the like button, leave us a comment, tell us what you think about Trooper of the Year. What's his name?
Right.
Trooper of the Year, Wright. Let us know.
Because the trooper's always right.
So let us know in the comments what you think about this. And guys, please go to the original video of police activity. Give them a view for this because we did borrow their body cam footage. And let them know that the Docket Dodgers sent you. Until next time, this has been the Docket Dodgers, Wade. Anything else?
We're about 397 subscribers right now.
Give us 3 more.
You could be 400. That's a good number.
Hit the button. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.